Does your self-esteem need a makeover today? What is self-esteem? So self-esteem and confidence do get confused a lot of the time. Self-esteem is how we think of ourselves. So when you say you hold someone to high esteem, you think highly of them. You respect them, you think they're important, you hold them to high esteem. Well, self-esteem is how we think of ourselves. The thoughts we think, the feelings we feel, our worth, all of that. So that's what self-esteem is. And everybody has self-esteem. There's nobody that doesn't have self-esteem. People have high self-esteem or low self-esteem. But everybody has self-esteem. And self-esteem affects your life a lot. It affects your situations, it affects your relationships, it affects the way you deal with things, and it also affects the way you look at yourself and see yourself and what you do and how you treat yourself. So it's important to build a high self-esteem. Okay? And a lot of the times it's hard to build high self-esteem. It is. It's not easy to build high self-esteem, but it's possible. A lot of the times we let outside influences affect our lives and affect the way we think about ourselves. Take me, for example. I have high self-esteem and I love the way I look, okay? I didn't always feel like that. When I was growing up, I grew up in a mixed race family. So those of you know me, I grew up in a mixed race family, and my mom is lighter than me. My sisters are lighter than me. My stepdad is lighter than me. So I was literally the black sheep of the family. Literally. And for me, it was really difficult growing up. It was a real struggle growing up because we'd go to places and people would say, "Oh, is that your mom? Are those your sisters?" And I'd say, "Yeah." "Oh, why do you look different?" And people would say to me, "Are you adopted? Why is your skin color different?" And all of these things. And that would really affect me because I would think, well, I would feel really rejected. I felt really rejected. I felt like I wasn't part of the family because of my skin color. And it really, really affected me. And when I was little, I would go and I'd jump in the bath and I'd get the scrubby and I would scrub and scrub and scrub and scrub myself so hard, trying to scrub the color off. I'd sit there for ages, scrubbing until my skin was red raw. It would be burning and it would be red, trying to get this color off because I hated it so much. And I felt like an outsider. I just felt like I didn't fit in. And I used to think if I could just scrub it and get it all off, then I'd fit in and I'd be like the rest of my family. And I wouldn't stand out. And I wouldn't hate myself so much. So I'd keep going and I'd keep going and I'd be in so much pain, but it would never take away the pain that was inside. So as I got older, I got more friends, as you do. You get white friends, you get Indian friends, you get black friends, you get a mixture of friends growing up. And as I grew up, I realized that, outside my little family, there's other people and other colors. And people would say to me, "Oh my gosh, your skin is so beautiful. Oh, I have to tan for hours. Oh, look, I have to go to the sunbeds, to get your skin color." And I started to think, okay, well, yeah, my color is quite nice actually. And even when we go on family holidays, my sisters would be lying in the sun trying to get their skin nice and brown. I'd be literally step out of the shade into the sun and catch the sun. I would catch the sun. So for me, I started to look at myself differently. And every time I looked in the mirror, I'd say, "Okay, your skin's nice. It's not that bad. And then growing up, you get the Beyoncés and the Sierras and all of these female artists with my skin color that were doing well, that were doing amazing with themselves. And for me, that was incredible because that brought me out of it. But the best thing you can ever do for yourself is to tell yourself how beautiful you are, how amazing you are. Whatever you struggle with, whatever you hate about yourself, because everybody doesn't like bits about themselves. Nobody's perfect. And if you do strive for perfection, you're never going to get it. And you are going to put yourself in such a rubbish situation striving for perfection, because nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. So don't aim for perfection. Just aim to like yourself, to love yourself, and be comfortable. And don't worry about what other people think, because everybody has their opinions, and people will voice their opinions and say what they want to say. But you don't have to listen to it. You don't have to take it on board. Because sometimes we have a tendency, don't we, to listen to something that somebody said. And once they've said it, we go home and we think about that thing. You might stand in front of the mirror and think, oh, maybe they were right. My hair does look like that. Or, yeah, maybe I do need to lose a bit of weight. And then you say that to yourself again. And then the next time you look in the mirror, you think it again. And those thoughts build up. And as those thoughts build up, whatever they are about, it lowers your self-esteem every single time. So don't worry about what anybody else says. That's their problem. They can deal with that. So if you've ever done that, have you ever done that? Gone home and thought, okay, yeah, they're probably right. I probably need to dress better, or I probably need to do better, or I probably need to whatever you need to do differently. Yeah. Don't even let anybody affect you in that way, because they don't have any say in your life. Okay? And when you have low self-esteem, what happens, because you let these things affect you, then you start avoiding social situations, avoiding difficult situations where you feel like, you could be confronted or seen. Yeah? You start getting anxious, and you tend to get sensitive about criticism. Doesn't have to be that way. Theodore Roosevelt said, if you can believe in yourself, then you're halfway there. It's not easy to change and build your self-esteem, but just get started and do small things every day. That's it. It's not easy to change, but you can change. Change is possible. So start doing and saying things to yourself to build yourself up today.